Morning traders, welcome to the Bookmap All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We'll be going through the live order flow analysis using Bookmap. The edge here, the whole goal is that order flow is about understanding the participants via their activities. Order flow is about understanding their participation in the market process. And it's with orders. So if we can understand where people are transacting and what kind of appetite they may have between the buyers and sellers of the passive and aggressive orders, the limit orders and the market orders, and also the ranges of the structure, the market structure. We want to put those pieces together and understand where price might go. Okay, so maybe this webinar, I'd like to focus on a few different things. Last webinar, I wanted to focus on higher time frame analysis, and it was an excellent opportunity, and I didn't follow through on it. I went for lower time frame trades. Anyway, let's take a look here, and we'll go through it. All right, so first off, a few news events. We have onboarding 3 times a week now. So the new schedule here, Dan just went this morning at 8 a.m. So anyone over in Europe, or maybe you're ending your session, I don't know, in Asia, come to this webinar. Or at market close, if you're in Asia, or rounding out your session, maybe you finish work a little early here in the US. We have Brandon at 4 p.m. East Coast time. And then for everyone else in the middle of the day here in the US, I'll do the webinar at 1 p.m. on Friday. So all time frames are represented here. We continue on with this. Well, we just started it, the Bookmap Pets. Funny competition. Have fun with it, guys. So all you have to do to enter here is take a photo of you and your trading companion along with Bookmap in the background. Here it is here. I'll put the link into the chat for you so that you can enter. But all you have to do, though, is very, very simple. Is go to Instagram or X or LinkedIn, take your photo, and then put hashtag Bookmap Pets, and it'll show up here. Okay, and you can see people already have entered in here. All right, so should be fun. We had a lot of curious interest in this a few competitions ago. So people put their dogs in there, and that's how we came up with the idea. Anyway, also Bruce's pilot program. So I put together this pilot program for you all. It is about building an edge. We'll show you how. We have a process here. This is, I just think it's vital. And most traders out there, they're always told you need an edge, you need to back test, and then they leave it at that. They show you the setup, but they don't show you how to back test. They don't show you how to build that edge. And most traders, then what do? They trade the setup a few times, only a few times, get a feel. Maybe they get a feel for it. Maybe they don't. Maybe they have a few wins and a few losses, and they move on to the next setup. Okay, so that's not a process. That is not an edge. An edge comes over many different trades. Okay, and we want to put that together, and we have a process, and it's quick too. This is the fastest method I've ever seen using the Bookmap replay mode. And our journal, trading journal together, we can really speed up the process. Okay, so I'll put that link in the chat for you as well if you want to sign up. It is we have a lot of interest in it. So take a look through, scroll through the page here, and there's no cost to it. You just need to have a subscription to Global or Global Plus. All right. And then our process in here from the Bookmap Academy. This is what we do in these webinars as well. This is what we all do basically, is look at the impetus on the higher time frame. What is moving the market? So what is moving the market now? Well, we had the non-farm payrolls. They were pretty bad numbers. And but it means that interest rate is more likely interest rate cut for upcoming, not this week, but the week after. Okay, so the market's reacting to that. So it's kind of all over the place right now. The numbers are bad. We're kind of in the weird zone. For example, we had NVIDIA earnings. They were good. However, the forward guidance was bad. And I'm really generalizing here, guys. Anyway, so we're kind of in this weird kind of mode right now. But we can then, once we understand what we're looking for, maybe it's just choppy. If that's what we're looking for, well, then we're going to choose strategies and scenarios to take advantage of that. And we're going to be trading, back into the range, or, the kind of responsive buying and selling, okay, that are outside of value. Anyway, picking and selecting your setup is number 4. Okay, and it's critical though. Have the right setup for the right day. So then it's just execution of your checklist in your setup, and you determine your sizing, and then you look at the order flow to give that insight. All right, so general disclosure, all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Luciano, Shark, McLoco. Really nice to see you in here, McLoco. You were here all the time some years ago, and now it's every now and then, but it's really great to see you. So welcome, Duzman, Stephen, and Laura. Yeah, I think there's a couple things like in the Bookmap Academy. I'm sorry, not the Bookmap Academy. In the Bookmap pilot program room. So Friday, I had a pretty bad day, but I want to go over that, and I loaded a lot of data in here so that I can go back and take a look at Friday's activity here. Okay, it's over here. Now, I'm going to talk about it much more in detail in the pilot program chat room. We were looking at this market and this heavy selling. We're all-time highs up here. Okay, and we know the news was not good, or the numbers were not good, but it means the interest rates on the rise. Or I'm sorry, a cut is coming, most likely, and the market got bullish, and then. This is where, and I saw this, and we've seen it many times before. This move here, this is a very strong, powerful move by larger players. And then we can see it again here, and we can see it again here. And they are driving price away from this area up here. Okay, now we knew that, and we were looking for a bounce though at a certain point. And we started looking at our higher time frame levels. Okay, and the big takeaway, well, first off, the biggest takeaway is when something doesn't seem right, hold off. Okay, there's a lot of, I speculate on this, but maybe some of you guys can tell me, but I think there's a lot of massive options transactions going on here, driving this price lower. Okay, and the dealers have to hedge on this. Anyway, it's a great time to sell off. All-time highs and bad data, and someone's speculating on, or some traders, larger players, may be speculating on just maybe I should take some profits, or maybe we're starting to kind of roll over in the economy a bit. Anyway, regardless, I want to cover this here because, okay, I got a little antsy, and it wasn't good for that reason. However, a few different things. Number one is, okay, I took some losses, but I didn't let it unwind against me. I'm still in the game. Okay, that's really important. Secondly, is to come back and learn from it. And what do I do? Well, first off, my activities were a little too antsy during the webinar. Should have waited. Okay, we saw this one. We know this one was a good one, and we were in the green for this one for a bit, and then we talked about this one here again. This is good. we're started to say this might turn into that head and shoulders, or might turn into that maybe it's just kind of like a double bottom type of thing, and then it just goes higher. Well, it basically went higher here, and then it just went sideways and chopped for the rest of the day here, and went a little bit higher at the close. Okay, so anyway, I want to just cover this here, that the setup that we're looking for, the timing wasn't right earlier. Higher time frame levels. When volatility comes into the market, we need to look at our higher time frame levels. It's really critical. And that was actually how I started the webinar off, looking at this level in here, this level in here, and then some of these levels down in here. Finally, it traded all the way down to the swing down here from the 4th, September 4th, the previous day. Just dipped below it here, and then we got the rebound back up. Okay, so the takeaway that I have learned over the years is when volatility starts picking up, you got to start looking for your higher time frame levels, because it's likely going to blow through the lower time frame levels. Okay, we got you can see the little green dots in here, and we did get these little bounces in here along the way. Okay, so anyway, that's a tip that I have learned over the years, and need to kind of reiterate it and remember that. All right, so where does that leave us for today? Okay, well, look at all the action, and you can see it down here, okay, from Friday. And let me just outline it here. I'm going to use the channel tool here. In fact, I'm going to use, we'll just, I'll just make it like this, and we'll edit it a little bit here. Okay, and something like this. Okay, extend it. All right. All right. Anyway, okay, so all of this activity down here, we are above it. Okay, and this big sell-off up in here, well, we're filling in this area where it didn't quite, you can see in here, how it went through very, very quickly. Okay, and then the majority of the transactions took place down in here. Okay, so this is where it didn't quite auction properly because it just blasted through these areas, and it is now auctioning back in those areas now. Okay, so makes sense. I mean, I can see a little swing here, and that's kind of been the high so far of the cash session, and other higher time frame levels, maybe up here around 65.30, or the swing up here from 42 or so, 65.42. On the downside, well, we'd get back into the swing here that we just drew up in the channel. It's just below the figure, well, down at 64.90, and then we have the swings from today, and also the low from Friday down here. Okay, pretty big zones in here. All right, so we are just right in the middle here and chopping around quite a bit. Okay, and we're going to try to read this in here. Okay, and we're going to get a break at some point. It might be during the data. We have a lot of data coming out this week, so maybe today we get nothing. Maybe we do get a big move and a reaction for the upcoming data, and people speculating on what PPI or CPI might be later in the week. Anyway, and then the big event is going to be the quarterly FOMC next Wednesday. Okay, and that's where we're going to get some fireworks. That's for sure. Now, I don't know. I mean, a rate cut is pretty baked in. There's a lot of political pressure about that as well. And the numbers are bad for employment. So anyway, we shall see. And where does that leave us here? Okay, looking at our higher time frame levels, we covered that. And we covered impetus, what's moving the market, or lack of moving the market. And the scenarios for today, choppy. Okay, so you know, these outside the ranges, back in the range. Okay, outside the range, back in the range. And here we are kind of dribbling down right now. Sellers starting to come in, looking at the swing down here at 98. All right, let me see if there's any questions over here. Morning, everybody over on YouTube. Yeah, I think it's good to have you back, McLoco. Yeah, the pilot program is great. I mean, I firmly believe in it, and you know, just the repetitions that you put in, and going through the process and really knowing and building out a quantitative and qualitative, is mostly quantitative through the reps, but the setup is strong. It's good. I know it has an edge, and we can even see it from Friday that it has an edge. But anyway, that was I own it. My mistakes on that, and little too eager. Anyway, good morning, CMJ. Still not received the, okay, you have not received the email. Okay, yeah, guys, there's been some back end problems with this. I'm sorry about it. Signing up, and some people got a little lost in it, but anyway, just let me know in here in the all markets, or no, even better, we have a new email that when you sign up, okay, it will tell you to go to the support help support room here. Okay, so this is where you'll go, right here, and request it in here. Okay, that's what we'll do to give you the role to go view the room. Okay, and we need to verify that you signed up, so you will need to sign up. Okay, and that again is from this page here. I'll put it into the chat for you. Okay, so anyway, those that are participating, you guys are knocking it out of the park, really learning a lot, and it just looks great. All right, so I can't think that anything else than this is going to work and help. So it's just repetition of a very solid process, and what I'm so excited about, I think, is the maybe you have done lots of back testing in the past. Like, you know, I know that I found it so tedious to go back in and go, okay, here's a swing high, here's how far it went down, you know, where am I going to put my stop? Did this make money if I got back in here? No, it was a loss. How much of a loss was it? You will be able to bypass all that by using replay mode. And this is the exciting part. You don't have to record all of that. It'll be recorded in your trading journal. Okay. Moreover, you'll be able to replay it again, and you'll be able to speed it up at, like, you know, 32 times, 64 times, 164 times, or you know, you could really speed it up. And that means that you can trade this instance over and over and over again. Okay, and by doing that, you're going to learn very, very quickly. Okay, there's all sorts of great examples out there. Video poker players or online poker players years ago, where it was legal to play poker in you know, 10 rooms at a time, and they'd play thousands of hands a day. And it's not an overestimate. Virtual racers, you know, they can now, you know, actual Formula One and IndyCar racers are using the virtual simulators. They'll go through a corner again and again and again, back it up, replay it again, go through it again, learn, take it a different way. You know, it's the same thing that we're going to be doing, but it's going to be in trading. All right. Anyway, enough on that. Let's take a look here, see what's going on. All right. So is this an opportunity for taking it back into the range here? All right, let's take a look here. It looks pretty good so far. I don't see a lot of passive liquidity getting filled on the way down here. Okay, so we haven't broke any structure yet either. Now this would be on a much lower time frame that we'd be looking at in here for trading it back into the range, but the concepts are pretty similar. Okay, it's not really a reversal that we're looking at here. Okay, is different in that regard. Okay, so maybe you don't get a lot of passive accumulation here. Okay, and then what you're looking though for certainly is exhaustion and aggressors. Okay, exhaustion on the sell side after a stop run here, which we got the stop run. Now we're looking for the aggressors, and now we're looking for them to take it back. Well, we have a point of control right here at 6,500, but maybe to the other side of the range or even higher. Just go to liquidity over at the other side of the range here at 65.05 or 07, quite a bit up there as well. All right. So again, once you understand, like we covered this about, well, in detail, as you guys know in the pilot program, this setup, but this is the flexibility I'm talking about. And I've mentioned it in the past, but I don't want to confuse people in here because we want to stick with the same setup and look for the reversals and use the replay files. Okay, we want to understand the passive accumulation, higher time frame important level, and then we look for a break of that, and then we look for the aggressors to come in on the other side. Okay, so we got passive accumulation, then aggressive accumulation. All right, now you can see like this is very different here than my mistake on Friday. It's very different. Okay, we are in a choppy range here. Okay, whereas before we were in a pretty strong downtrend, and I was looking for this and looking at my supposedly higher time frame levels. They were not. Let's take a look at the candlestick chart. And look at that. We look at the hourly on this. See this little area in here, this blip. This was one we looked for. Also, I think up here a little bit as well. And then down here, right around in this whole area in here in the swings we were looking at in this kind of zone in here. I think 42 to or 52 down to I can't recall what I said, but anyway, you can see the swings in here, and then and we did get the bounce there. Now that's a, a massive bar to the downside. It's ATR. It's imminent that we're going to get some sort of pushback, and we did. Anyway, let's move forward. In a day like that, these kinds of levels here aren't really higher time frame levels. This is a higher time frame level. This is a higher time frame level. Okay. Now, what about today? All right. Well, I would say looking at the gap fill in here or bouncing around in this level around 92, 93. Okay, looks pretty good. Or the gap fill would be actually down here around 88 or so. 90, 88 on the hourly is what I'm showing here. Okay. All right. So here come some of those buyers, and then where are they likely to take it now? On the 15-minute chart. Let's zoom in just a little bit more here. Okay. So maybe just up to the swing here, 6,500. Maybe back up a little bit higher. But they got to get over these humps here because we're starting to trend down now. So and they need to get out. These buyers need to show that buying pressure. Okay, so what have we done so far? Well, we traded back up into looking at this kind of a high volume node in there. Okay, now we need to trade through that. Let's see some other questions in here. Just a second, guys. Okay. Yeah, 90 point, 90 point. It was. I thought it was 80. I think you're right though, Alois. I think it was over 80. I think 90 point sell off after that. I mean, it was brutal after all-time highs. Well, someone wanted to exit, or someone was buying a lot of puts. Okay, well, here come those buyers now, right? So now we identified this on a smaller time frame, this makes sense, okay, for a move up to here. Now this is maybe a little out of the ordinary to see that much buying, but we're at the top of the range. We talked about 05. I think there's enough momentum to get up to 07. Okay, maybe even this 10 here. Okay, break this time frame or this swing up here and get to highs of the day. Pilot program traders, just reiterate, like this is not it. Okay, this we're talking about a reversal. This is more of, but it's the concept is very similar. That's another reason why I picked this setup to study. Okay, because we want to understand the flow and the change, and then once we understand that, now this can turn into a trend trade on a smaller time frame in here. Okay, so you know, we could see that quite a bit of buying came in. We've gotten one pullback already, and we've already come back up higher. Okay, well, a pullback in we'd be looking for in the like a continuation trade. Probably first place would be around this 03, I guess, 02.5, down to like 01 here, where those buyers came in. If we even get it, right? We're still getting more buying momentum here. All right. Okay, so we did trade with 07 up here. Okay, we hit that liquidity and we traded. Kind of missed this. We kind of turned our backs, and or at least I was talking about something else on the candlestick chart. Let's go back to that candlestick chart for a minute here. Okay, so we were just talking about a move up to here to begin with. You can see that I mean, this was trending down, and we talked about you know, a move back into the range here, and I'm surprised to see it trading up into these areas already. It's pretty strong. These are the areas we were outlining here. All right. Anyway, let's see if we can get up to 10. There's been liquidity in here at 15, 25, and a lot up here at 40. Actually, they pulled, and then they actually dropped it down here around this 10 level. But high liquidity is kind of all over the place. Dewsman, you're looking at liquidity that got filled from the open. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit here. Up in here, or I'm not sure exactly where, because here's the cash open. So maybe give me a time exactly. I mean, was it up here at 9:27, 9:28? All right, so there is one nice thing. Okay, still, I would be taking profits up here, and maybe one runner to hold like for these higher areas because they've been in here for a while. Let me explain why though. Is because what we covered yesterday earlier from Friday, this big area down here, and that this area has not been explored yet. And we are above it right now. So now we see enough buyers to uh, allow that exploration back up into these areas up in here. Okay, especially the areas that I'd be looking for. Well, yeah, I got to be kind of careful here on the higher time frames. We talked about 42, also maybe this kind of 30-ish area here, and where these guys came in and moved this market in here is also going to be pretty key. And then the initial move was right here, and then there were several after. But let's draw up a channel up here. In fact, let me try something here. It's going to, can I just copy this? Try to draw this channel again. Right in here. Oh, perfect. Something like that. Okay. And let's see now, does that area kind of line up with some high liquidity? Yeah, there's some up there. This 25 has been in here for a while, but you can see it up here around 35 and also 40. They kind of pulled there and added it back down lower. All right, so 937, that's what for today is what you're talking about. All right, let's take a look, Duzman. Duzman, this setup did not present yet. The trend line break and accumulation. I know you're looking at very small time frames here. Okay, and it's working for you. So you're getting a feel for it. Okay, just be careful with it. The reason that it's working is because it's a choppy environment, right? But the criteria is not all there for it. Okay, we really want to see and understand the and that's why we're using the replay mode files, because we really want to understand that passive accumulation on the way down or on the way up. And then we look for a transition, right? And if we can understand that, and we drill that one, we got that one down. What you're doing now in trading, you're going to be, well, you have some great trades there, but you'll be able to really knock it out of the park. Yeah, I mean some small scalps, but anyway, you get the idea. I would be very careful, Duzman. I know you're in the forward testing mode, but you don't want to get confused. Keep it really simple so you know what you're looking for. What you're doing here is a little more advanced. Okay, let me show everybody, if you don't mind, Duzman. Okay, so he's here's the structural break. Here's the buying coming back in, and then taking it back up, trailing to stop, and then getting stopped out. Here looks like you got stopped out, but then you got back in, and then had a small gainer here again, and a small gainer, and then nicer one down here. Now you got in a couple, right? You got stopped out on one, and you took the other one here. Okay, see how what I mean? How like you're not going to be quite sure when you don't quite see all that. And then this is like with two contracts. And I'm sorry, Duzman, I do not mean to throw you under the bus. It's just a good example of like you know, you're scaling in. Okay, it's good that you took this loss. I like that. But you want to see that transition take place in here. That's a big part of the strategy and the setup. Now it is fractal. It does happen on all time frames, but you know, we want to see it on the higher time frame. Anyway, I hope you understand what I mean. That you know, you're doing great, or you're understanding it, but it could lead to confusion, and that is where we don't want to go. We want to be super clear on what it is we're looking for and how to trade it, and then no scaling in or scaling out or anything. It's like we see it, we trade it, we nail it. Take your single or double. All right, let's see here at 937 is what you're talking about. So I think this liquidity here is what you're talking about. All right, let's take a look. All right, anyway, nice stuff, Duzman. Just hope you understand where I'm coming from. You're doing really well in the program, though. Pilot program link is here. Let me put it into the chat. There you go, red elephant. On YouTube, let me see, here's the pilot program as well. There you go, there's the link. So yeah, we may get that runner out of this one here. We're already up at the highs of the cash session so far. All right, so let's go over that 937 liquidity in here. All right, so this one here, well, it's high liquidity, and this is what we want to understand. Exactly, this is this high liquidity in here, and this transaction here, and there's still more selling pressure. Okay, so there's still more selling pressure. Now it's a little harder maybe read in here, but the is still going lower. Sellers are still moving the market. There's still more selling. You can see it in the dots and the bars. So we look for next levels of liquidity and market structure, and it trades all the way down to this one here. Okay, and then it goes just below the swing here, and then you're going to see a nice stop run here. Now this is actually maybe we'll turn this into a setup in the future, but for a range bound trade, this isn't bad with the stop run at the bottom here. Okay, that if we know we're in a range bound environment, and you know that there's high liquidity getting filled in here, but it's really down in here. There's still more selling pressure. Finally, though, we get down here, then you see the pull away and you see the aggressors come in. Okay, then you see the structure break. There's going to be a couple in here. There's going to be a diagonal structure, and then also this horizontal structure in here. Note the retest to the horizontal structure here. Okay, it's also the figures there. Okay, it's kind of critical. And then we just look for a move back. Look where it goes. Okay, it goes to where this big selling transaction took place, where these buyers met the sellers right here. It just kind of swings above it and it comes right back down. There's more selling in here, and they are now in control in this smaller time frame. Okay, so in fact, this is where we could start to trend lower. And we don't ultimately. You know, we see that, and we saw this one unfolding. Okay, anyway, we saw the aggressive buyers come in, and we look for a range bound trade in here. It's outside the range now and accepting. Something curious I saw again was this activity right here. So I don't know if you options guys have any kind of insight on this again. This is a very quick move. Okay, and a lot traded here very, very quickly. In fact, I think we can use this tool to give us how much traded. No, I'm really not haven't used this tool very much. It was developed actually for some users. So sizes too. Okay, I don't really know quite what it means there. Anyway, I'm trying to get you can see all the buy volume in here in the column. It's a massive book sweep, and there's a stop run in here as well. Anything that's short, anyone that's short, any orders that are stop loss orders are getting triggered in here, and they're going to be triggered at the very, very end up here. Okay, so anyway, I imagine this is another kind of big hedging transaction. In fact, let's put the stops and icebergs on chart and take a quick look at it. All right. Stops. Okay. It's only 35. Jeez. All right. Never mind. But that actually is very telling as well. That someone had a lot to purchase. Okay, so not so many stops are in there. And these kinds of events have significance. This is what we saw on Friday. Now, we don't know. I've seen these events happen, and then you see it to the other side. But I don't want to speculate too much on them. I just know that there's a lot of buys. The tallest bar here in the volume bars. Okay? And then the second tallest are, well, this one's kind of equal, and then they're here. Okay, so this is, makes sense that we're going higher. Higher time frame level is it. Well, higher time frame level, you'd be looking at, some of the swings in here. I mean, it could be anything. You might be looking at your higher time frame level. Maybe it's the session VWAP, okay, or maybe it's some point of control or value area, or I don't know, initial balance, high or low, or it could be a weekly, it could be an overnight level. Okay, what we want to understand though, and what's critical, this is a point actually I was Laura brought up, and I was kind of explaining this, is what we want to understand is traders' reactions around those levels. That's what gives us the kind of insight. Okay, so if like on Friday we blast through some of these levels in here, they're insignificant, right? This is the significant level down here. Right now, that's in hindsight, but this is volatility, so we look for higher time frame levels. Okay, today, well, we don't really see that kind of volatility, so I would be looking for a little bit lower time frame levels and reactions around those areas. Okay, so Dong, I hope that makes sense. I had this explained to me by it was a floor trader, and who had kind of made the transition over to the chart trading or electronic trading, and it's like look at the price. They look at the price board and go, okay, where was the high, where was the low? Okay, that's where people reacted, and he focused on that. Simple as that. It's like there's going to be people trapped there. There's going to be interest there. If it's going to break, it'd probably break hard. If it doesn't, it'll probably break back into the range pretty hard or pretty quickly. Okay, as you can see right now, this is what's happening. This is our higher time frame level for this time frame, this session. It's right here. Okay, around this 08 level. 9 or so basically. And look how have we accepted above it. Okay, a little bit of volume. Okay, higher time frame liquidity getting filled in here too. Okay, here, this liquidity in here did not transact. It actually, you can see how they pulled it and moved it higher. It's clearly a larger player, probably about 600 contracts or 550 or so up here at this 13 3/4. We see 321 up here at 15. Okay, so this is the auction, and we're watching it unfold here. This is the passive. This is the passive liquidity or limit sell orders. Okay, these are where the sellers are. Okay, and we're looking at the dots here, the aggressors, market buy orders, and are they willing to trade and up with these sellers up here? If so, they got to reach it. They got to trade up there. So anyway, the assessment here so far is we have broken outside of this range, and we are making higher highs, but they're slight, okay, only by a couple of ticks. And we're trading into high liquidity along the way. So look at this trend in here. See how shallow it is compared to like Friday, for example. Okay, so are we really looking for a big move here? Now, we never know. Okay, all of a sudden, it could be a whole bunch of buying that wants to push this higher. Okay, we don't know. But I would say I would look for us to trade into some of this high liquidity in here and absorb the buying pressure. Okay, because the buying pressure is kind of timid in here right now. And then to see it maybe go sideways for a bit, or maybe even go sideways and then find more sellers and trade it back down into these levels down here, 08, 06, 04, or 05. DNT. Okay, so there was something going on there around that time. 951. Let's go back and take a quick look. Yeah, 951 and a half or so. Oh yeah, I can't help but not see those. So so you got some options information here. Okay, interesting. So a bunch of calls. Well, and it had an influence. Okay. Red Elephant, quick question. Will the pilot program also help improve my trading with crypto? Yeah, it'll work for any markets. It's kind of like, put it this way, if we use that race car analogy or virtual racers, it would be maybe akin to, a different car on a different kind of track. Okay, you're going to have to get a feel for it. Each instrument is going to be a little different, time frames, levels, etc. Still, you can just use the files that are in there in replay mode. They're mostly ES, but there's some NQ, gold, crude oil, and they're mostly there's a few stocks in there too, but they're mostly futures. We'll try to get some crypto in there as well. Okay, guys. Well, you can see see how that we got that kind of timidness here so far. Not so much buying in here. Here, there's actually, see this whole little area in here. It's making higher highs by a tick, but there's more selling in here. And then sellers are able to bring it down to the bottom of the range. Okay, on this time frame. Choosing your time frames is, I think, really, really critical. For example, if you were looking for selling in here on this time frame, you'd be looking for just taking some at least partial profit and move the stop to break even, or just get out here, right, on this time frame. Right? You're not looking for a bigger move. Can we zoom out a little bit more? Well, you got another pullback in here. Okay, and maybe we get more selling in here, like a lot more, and then maybe you'd look for the move back down into 08 on a little bit higher time frame. So let's go back. Let's take a look at this 15-minute chart here. Not seeing much. Okay, you got some interesting things in here about Mag 7, DNT. I mean the market caps of those are so big. It's just amazing how it dominates the market. I mean, look here. Here's a different kind of heat map chart, right, from FinViz. I mean, that's pretty amazing. Look at this is the S&P 500. There are 500 companies here. Okay, look what really matters. 1, 2, well, yeah, maybe 3, 4, but like I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 5, 6, and then where's the what's the 7th? Is it Tesla? Nah. It is Tesla. Okay. Well, what's the market cap of this versus AVGO? It looks like it's bigger. Google, yeah. Well, no, I counted Google and Meta. Anyway, just look at that, how much it dominates. I mean, just dominates. That's incredible. So if something happens to one of these or a few of these, like it's really going to affect world markets, not just the markets here in the US. Okay, here we go. So a lot of buyers, still more buying pressure. Stop run, another stop run here. Okay, still squeezing a little higher here. Okay, nice stop run. Okay, and higher liquidity up here. All right, well, you know, how much volume do we see in here moving this? Okay, it's not bad actually. This is a pretty big volume, but it was totally absorbed up here. And then we got one more push higher on some higher volume, but again, it's pretty absorbed. I do not see sellers yet. Right? This is why we look at this accumulation first on the passive side. Okay, and now we look for, because we don't know how much more demand these guys have, but we're looking for now when the aggressors come in, break structure, and the aggressive accumulation by sellers to move that market back into the range or the other side of the range here. All right, and if there are no aggressive sellers here to break that structure, then we will continue to either like go sideways or continue on up. Okay, for you market profile guys, like then you would look for those aggressive sellers, and you'd look for a high volume node either here at 12 or maybe 10 down here, or start to look at what we talked about earlier, 08 or this kind of 05 liquidity. And these areas here aren't really aligning with much. They're just high volume nodes. Okay, so it's already hit this one, and we're going to get some profit taking there. I mean, if you were looking at this and you're looking, and we covered it in real time here, but if you're looking for this as a scalp, like this is not a bad area to consider. We don't know if we're going to get a bounce here or not. Are we going to find buyers in here, or maybe you trail your stop down and see if those aggressors come in. If they don't, then look for the next level. And we got a high volume node at 10 or 1075, but we've got kind of bottom of the range, and we've already had a bunch of stop runs to the downside. Maybe we can get down to 10 or 8.5 here. I like this 8.5 area down here. All right, let me go back to YouTube and any questions here. Okay, I got some really great questions in here actually. Good morning everybody over here. What moves the market is a serious question. No, it's not. It's really mechanical and simple. Let me show you here, and I'll just very simply show you. Go to bookmap.com, okay, and then click on education here, and Irmirgua, this is where to go. Market mechanics course here. We'll show you exactly what moves the market. It's really simple. But the funny thing is, I mean, you can make this assessment on all time frames. Okay, well, we're going to show you an example here in our market mechanics course, part one, like what moves the market. Okay, it's right here. Understanding like best bid, best offer. This again would be supply up here. These are the limit sell orders. These are the limit buy orders. Now, a question would be, now this would be kind of like a spoof, or maybe, the market, this liquidity is not acting as a magnet. Is doing the opposite. It's repelling buyers. Okay, it's too much supply and we find sellers, and we can have a spread widen out. If no one's willing to buy in here and they widen out the spread, this is where it's going to trade. That's it. The transaction takes place. They take liquidity off of this level, and if they take another 21 contracts off of this price level here, it will go down and start to trade at one tick lower, and start to trade and transact with the liquidity that's at this price level that's lower. That's it. That's what moves the market. You want to see it in Bookmap? It's right here. Okay. So we can see exactly what's moving the market here. So here, watch and see if we get enough sellers here to trade into this 12 liquidity here. Okay, sellers, let's see it. Sellers, more sell. We need to see sellers here, and not enough, right? So now you can see buyers come in and they lift. See how they're lifting the price, and they're taking liquidity at all these price levels, and they're lifting that market. So that's it. Okay. And Bookmap does a great job of showing this. Anyway, I hope you find this very, very helpful, because if you start to zoom out, you'll start to note, okay, well, now we're looking at a range in here. And if I zoom out more, now we're looking at a bigger range in here. Okay, so the market came up and tested up in here, and it failed, and it's come back down. And now it's coming back up again. And let's see, enough buyers? Yep. All right, buyers, let's see, can you lift it and trade with these guys up in here? 15, maybe 16. Come on, buyers, let's see it. See, there's a little bit more supply came in there. The heat map changed. Okay, and we're not, now you can see there's no more buyers. We find sellers driving it back in. Anyway, it happens on all time frames. Even if we look at a daily or a monthly or a weekly chart, it's the same concepts, just higher time frame and more transactions. Okay, and there's a few more great questions over here in YouTube, so let me get to them. Well, thanks, Tom. No, it was a bloodbath on Friday, but the one, there's the things that I had mentioned though that I think are worthy. Number one, own it. Number two, what happened? What did I do? What did I overlook? What did I miss? I think you come back so much stronger, because remember those days, learn from them, have a reaction to them, and plan for them to happen again, because they're going to happen again. Right? That's why this whole little choppy area in here, we were looking at it thinking, well, this is going to be choppy until we see something different. We thought we saw something a little different here, and we just thought top of the range again. Maybe we mentioned it, maybe we would break out. Okay? Maybe, because on the higher time frame, we're above this area from Friday. Okay, but it happened. Okay, but look at the way that it's doing it here as well, though. Okay, so it's gonna take a while. It's gonna be kind of choppy as it does this, if it does this. But yeah, thanks, Tom. I appreciate it. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, Michael, I put the link to the pilot program in there. And Dong, I went over higher time frame. Recommend visiting Lunar Center. No, there was another question in here that was really good. Do you think that using Bookmap forces us to have a scalping mentality, Michael? Great question. No, I don't think so at all. I think it works extremely well for scalping. But you can look at these higher time frame levels in here as well. All right, so let's just take a look here, and let's go through an example. Well, we're kind of going through an example right now. We talked about this area from Friday, and then the auction back up above. We are above that area. Okay, so we're kind of looking for, either it filling out in this little zone in here between 10 and 90, or being able to explore higher, because all of this area in here did not auction properly. So we put our other area up here between 30 and 40 basically. Okay, and we could go up there and test. Okay, so now if that is your scenario for the day, well, then you're just looking for maybe this 25 level gets in the way, but because that's some pretty high liquidity up here at 25, and it's been in there for a while. So just keep that in mind, and that can be helpful though for you. Okay, so what would you be doing if you're looking for that kind of higher time frame move? Right now, you'd be doing nothing. You'd be in the trade and you just let it run. Maybe, I don't know where your stop would be. I don't know if you're interested in moving it up to right here. That makes sense that it's going to be above this 10 or 8.5 level, or maybe the point of control in here somewhere around this like 02 or around the figure, or if you're going to put your stop at the other side of the range here, looking for a move way up to here. I don't know. That is up to you. You're going to have to answer that. Thank you, Stephen. Hit that like button, smash the like button, please. Yeah, I really appreciate it, Stephen. I'm not, I always forget about that. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Michael. And let's just zoom out. Let's look at kind of a medium time frame in here. So what that might that look like in here? Well, we saw this kind of unfolding potentially on this lower time frame in here. We covered it, and then this volume though. Now in hindsight, now this volume is pretty key, right? This is what moved that market up, and moved it away from this area, helped move it away. It was kind of the kind of as a like a rocket booster to be able to kind of leave maybe the atmosphere, and then now it's kind of coasting higher up here. Anyway, we're still seeing it move higher, but look how it's doing it in here. Who's trading this? Who's are the aggressors really coming back in here? And I see them, but I just don't see them, the sellers here, getting any traction. At least not yet. There's more selling in here. And there's more buying up to here, and then there's more selling right after that. And so we're kind of in this zone now. High liquidity. This we talked about this. Anyway, we'll see. Are we going to get more buyers come back in? Is just kind of continue to grind higher? Looks like it. Looks like it. And what about the sellers in here? Well, they're going to be kind of. We should see a stop run here, okay? Because all of these sellers in here will lead to a pretty strong move up, and people getting stopped out. Okay? And then what am I looking for after that? Well, due to the day so far, I'm not looking for a lot of aggressors to come in. Okay, so what does that mean then? Well, if let's suppose we do get a nice move like maybe 20 is a little too lofty, but if we get a move like up into like 18, which would be kind of a measured move, so that's not out of the question, that maybe we just chop around in here for a while and then see if there's enough buyers that are willing to take it higher, or maybe we come back in and we see sellers bring it back down into these other areas. Are there any, okay, Amir Goya, are there any techniques to find that stop orders is entry or exit? No, not at all. We just know it's a stop order transaction. Okay, but when they start to cascade together, it's likely a stop run, right? Like this one here, this is going to be a stop run. Okay, so we don't know where these stops are, actually. We don't know that. Okay, but this is going to hit, this move higher here is going to hit some stops along the way. But this move here, all the stops got filled at the end here, 40 of them. All right, so anyway, it was able to move price. Now, these 40 in here, or I'm sorry, whatever moved it up to here, it could be people exiting the market, or could be people entering as well. Okay, so maybe people put their buy stops up here and they got slipped into the market. Anyway, this isn't really much of a cascading stop run. We see all of these orders filled, then stops are filled at the top. Okay, again though, we don't know where those stops are. They could have been 1, 2, 3, 4, four or five ticks in here. Oh, thanks, DNT. Yeah. You're talking about the market mechanics course videos, is that right? They're evergreen. I mean, they've been there for a while. But yeah, okay, thanks. Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is like it's not going to change. I mean, they're evergreen. I mean, like this is just how this is what happens, and it's a I would say like if the market is like pro rata or kind of mimics pro rata, it's going to be a little different. But this is first in, first out. This is how it works. All right, now see how the sellers came in. So stop run, sellers coming in, driving it lower now. And we thought it had the potential to come up higher. It get the stop run. We don't even get into the liquidity up here at 17 or 18. And then now we got the sellers coming back in. Okay, and that's a lot of selling. Okay, now I don't see a lot of liquidity getting filled in here on the bid. Okay, so let's see if there's some more selling pressure, then we should see this move lower. Now we did have a lot of stops here. So yeah, so we're getting our move lower. Okay, we're getting a bigger stop run there. Okay, nice. Okay, a little bit lower here, somewhere around this kind of 10 to 11, maybe. Eleven and a half. All right, guys. Well, let's see here. I think we've got about 10 minutes left, but there's really not a whole lot happening here, and maybe we'll cut loose here a few minutes early, unless you guys have any questions. Give it another minute here. And let's see if these sellers, they should have enough here to move it back down, start to target. I kind of like this. Well, I said 11 and a half, the swing here, but liquidity is a little lower, 10 and a half or 10. Right? Sellers meeting the buyers. Okay, right there. So they did. They reached 10 and a half. Okay, so let's see. Maybe they still have more supply here. Okay, this is why we want to understand this relationship between the passive and aggressive here. Yeah, Duzman. You're doing great, and obviously it's working for you. So keep it up, but just you really want to be careful about what you're doing, and just don't get confused, and try to keep it simple, knowing that, I mean, I would suggest this, continue to kind of look and see these areas in here, but it's not really forward testing. That's just kind of goofing around, but that is, has its merits to kind of get a feel for things in the pilot program. But looking for the setup and identifying the elements in that and getting really good at that is the key. And I would recommend keeping the live market open. And I think you have the Global Plus subscription, right? So that's great. Stay with it, and then use replay mode like on your laptop, or if you have another machine. Okay, because you can play all those replay files. You have another instance of Bookmap that will only connect to the replay mode. Let me show you here. If you go to bookmap.com, okay, and go to pricing, and you scroll down here. Okay, so here's Global Plus, right? And you'll note here that Global Plus, it offers all these add-ons, but there's more. Heck, where is it? It's up a little. Trading. Hold on a minute here. let me just do a quick search for it because I can't find it right off the bat. Okay, replay mode, here it is. Okay, advanced add-ons. Okay, so here, oh no, that's not it. Right here. Okay, additional features here. Okay, so it's pretty far down the list here, but Global Plus compared to Global here. Okay, right here. Second license for replay. Global does not have it. Global Plus does. This is a big benefit here. And I'm not trying to sell you an additional subscription or a more expensive one. I'm just trying to get you, if you want to look at the live markets and you want to use replay mode at the same time, this is the way to go. Okay, and then keep hitting replay mode, because this here is a waste of time unless it sets up. Okay, because we'll sit here for hours toiling, waiting for something to unfold, where it's good to keep your eye on the market. Absolutely, get a feel for it. Maybe on lower time frames, or like I get the concepts, and so I'm looking for this or that. But truly, this can, just be a waste of time. Okay, until you really know the setup. Once you really know the setup, then you'll look at these markets in here and you go, yeah, I'm not trading today. I'm looking for something very specific to unfold. And heck, maybe I even missed it here. There is something that kind of unfolded here as I was jawboning, like right here, right? Something like that. And then see the transition here. Okay, this is what I mean by transition. Actually, there's quite a bit of selling in here. We kind of noted that on the way up, quite a bit of selling, but see the transition from kind of buy side or mildly buy side to sell side. Okay, after this liquidity here transacted, and some of this up here. Okay, it's not the greatest. Like, I would have loved to have seen some of this trade up here as well, then see that transition unfold. Okay, from the buy side or sell side accumulation to sell side aggressors, and then moving that market, and we can start to target areas and high liquidity or swings. This swing is already transacted down here. It's a pretty good one. The liquidity is a little lower, 8.5. You have to ask your brother. Okay. Well, it's great though. I mean, to have those working two copies like that, so you can practice and practice and practice while keeping an eye on the live markets as well. Okay, because it's really doing the reps. It's like going to the gym, doing the reps, or think of that poker player, like playing multiple hands over and over again, really, really quickly. Or that virtual racer is like, I just took the corner and I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna take it again. You don't have to go around the whole track. You can just take it again and try to take it at a higher speed, or maybe you're working on your braking, or maybe you're working on your acceleration out of the corner, or whatever it may be, right? Your angle into it, the apex, whatever. Anyway, guys, let's wrap it up. We'll call it a day. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I don't think there's any last-minute questions. Double check. Thank you, Michael. Live sales pitch, gentlemen. Yeah. No, I'm serious, crackhead. That's an advantage of being able to look at because you don't want to be enticed by the live markets and waste your time. So if you want to trade and keep your eye on the live market, great. Okay, but hit that replay mode. In fact, the replay mode is more important. So if you have the global one, then I would suggest keep on doing the replay mode again and again and again, and don't even look at the live market until you feel really good about it. You've gone through at minimum 20, but maybe even more in replay mode, okay, of 20 trades. All right. All right. Let me see any questions over in Discord. All right, Florian, Alois, Chano, and McLoco. All right, guys. Excellent. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and we will catch up with you tomorrow. Okay? We'll have some data, I think, tomorrow. Let's see, what's the calendar look like? No, nothing. The PPI and CPI is Wednesday and Thursday, respectively. All right? So we got a big week ahead. Okay, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.